If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how you're measuring the output of what you're doing, then you should really question, why you're doing it. And because so much of marketing is now taking place online and is therefore digital, it can be captured in a database. And with the technologies that's available, you have a chance to monitor behavior, which you've never had before. So you can actually, through lead scoring, you can say, if this person looks at 3 product pages in succession in the same session, that is significant. Or if he comes back to the website more than 3 times in a week, that is significant. And you want to capture that, which you can, and add it to the scoring, so that it's not just about this guy's looked at my demo. It's this guy's looked at my demo, and he is a CIO of a large pharmaceutical company, which is the demographic that we're targeting. We know from previous visits that he's got these systems because he's completed them in forms, and he's actually clicked on an offer in an email, and he's come back to the website. And by the way, we can see from the IP address that there's a number of people from his company who have been visiting the website. This is all rich, really valuable information. It's about turning that data into information by tracking it in your process and then acting accordingly. So if you're saying I don't want automation, you're basically talking about not having that ability.
One of the things I find really interesting is that as we have more and more marketing technologies available to us, we seem to have more and more metrics available to us, and we can all drown ourselves in a whole bunch of data that actually becomes increasingly difficult to get some insight from. So I'm a great fan of data, but it's got to be meaningful and get some insight from it, and that can be really hard. So if you like, one of my recommendations would be, what I found really helpful is there are probably 2, if we accept that there are responses, some of those responses turn into sales-ready leads, for want of a better word, and some of those sales-ready leads actually progress through to wins or business. I think there are the 2 ratios involved in there can give you the best steer possible, i.e. the percentage of responses that are turning into sales-ready leads and percentage of those sales-ready leads that are turning into revenue. If we start with those 2 points and you look at those figures and you look at the trends in those figures, that doesn't necessarily give you the answer, but actually at least gives you an indicator as to where you need to start digging. If it's on that first set of metrics that responses aren't turning into sales-ready leads, and that kind of says there's something wrong with the campaign. Whether it's wrong message, wrong time, wrong audience, wrong creative, wrong whatever. If it's the sales leads not turning into business, then there's something wrong with that progression process within the sales team, which may be maybe skills of seller, maybe enablement you've done of seller, maybe changing situation in the client, maybe your qualification process and handing it over to the seller in the first place. So for me, those 2 ratios are extremely important. They're not the only ones. I mean, but of course they're not. From there, it gives you some indicators of what are some of the other ones you might want to drill down onto.
I think when you're looking at the return on investment, in my opinion, marketing has become much more mathematical than it ever has. And I think that is hugely powerful if it's done in the right way. I'm not saying the art of marketing has disappeared, but I think being able to report back, especially to the board, is absolutely crucial. So in order to elevate marketing within an organisation, I think it's really important to have a dashboard, a really simple dashboard. Don't go into masses of detail, but in terms of what campaigns have delivered, what results have been achieved, what closed business ultimately has come from a particular program or campaign that's been run, and actually sharing that with the organisation. If there are, you know, coffee points in your company, just print out a dashboard, print it on the notice board, let people see it and share it with them. Marketing should absolutely go to every single sales meeting and actually be there, listen to what is being talked about, and sharing some of the programs that are coming through and the successes that have happened. And in doing so, you start to raise the profile of marketing within your organisation, and you start to justify the value that marketing, as we all know, can absolutely deliver.